Hello, welcome to my new video blog. Today it's a sports roundup highlighting my key sporting interests, and we start off with football. Take a look at this picture of Chelsea manager Carlo Ancelotti. Gosh, he looks like the manager of the letting agency in charge of my accommodation. Shame I haven't got a picture of my letting agency manager so you can compare the difference. Interesting. Now, while we're talking about Chelsea, they lost on Saturday 3-1 against Wigan after their goalkeeper, Petr Cech, got sent off. Rather hilarious, as I'm a Liverpool fan, but what about Liverpool in a moment? So, that's certainly going to get John Terry crying, as you can see in this picture here. Now, as I was saying, Liverpool won 6-1 against Hull with a hat-trick by the excellent Fernando Torres. I saw on the highlights that were on the TV that the ball seemed to be literally stuck to his foot. Hopefully Liverpool can continue such an excellent performance in their next few matches. Of course, they play Chelsea on Sunday, October the 11th. October the 10th, rather. So, it is October the 11th, getting confused here. So, ideally, we'd want another performance of such a good quality, because such performances have been rare recently, with Liverpool stuttering to find their form at the beginning of the current football season. Ryan Babel also contributed to the scoreline with 2 goals, and Steven Gerrard also got a goal before the 2 Babel goals. Meanwhile, Manchester United struggled to beat Stoke. Dimitar Berbatov scored the first of United's 2 goals rather late on in the match. I was hoping that the game would remain 0-0 as it was at half-time, but unfortunately it now ends up that United are now top of the league on goal difference ahead of Chelsea, and Liverpool are now in 3rd. All 3 teams have played 7 matches. But United and Chelsea have 18 points and Liverpool have 15. And according to the league table, I think any team as far down as 7th is still within a good chance of catching the teams at the top of the table. Now, the main focus of today's video blog is Formula 1, and in particular Crashgate. Because recently, of course, the Renault Formula 1 team have parted company with the team principal Flavio Briatore and the technical director Pat Symonds. Now, Pat Symonds has been in motor racing for quite a good many years. He originally started Formula 1 with Toleman in the 80s and then stuck with that team when it became Benetton and then subsequently moved on to being Renault. And Briatore, of course, is credited with Michael Schumacher's first 2 World Championships, which he won when with Benetton. Of course, both their careers are now in ruins. Briatore permanently and Pat Symonds for 5 years because of what happened at the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix, where Nelson Piquet Jr. Was ordered to deliberately crash his car, thus bringing out the safety car and allowing his teammate Fernando Alonso to win the race. But bear in mind, of course, that Alonso did win the next race in Japan, so Renault were doing something right at that point in the season, and it might be that they didn't need to engage in a great level of cheating to achieve success in the Grand Prix. And of course, I recorded this video blog straight after the 2009 Singapore Grand Prix, where Fernando Alonso finished 3rd behind Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel. Sorry, I'm getting confused again. It's Hamilton first, Timo Glock 2nd, and Fernando Alonso 3rd. I was getting confused there, because Vettel was 2nd, but he had trouble with his brakes, and that meant that he then ended up finishing 4th. Jenson Button, the British driver who was leading the championship, 15 points ahead of Rubens Barrichello, finished 5th in the Grand Prix, and Barrichello was 6th. So, if we look at the table, you see that Button is 15 points ahead of Rubens Barrichello, with 3 races left to go. Sebastian Vettel is 25 points behind Jenson Button, and with the next race in Japan in a week's time, Jenson Button only needs 5 more points than Barrichello at the Suzuka track to be crowned world champion, and it's very likely that the Brawn team will seal up the constructors' title at that event. Mark Webber crashed out of the Singapore Grand Prix, thus killing off any hope he had of winning the World Championship this year. Now, of course, I'm also interested in the American Indycar racing series, and that finishes on October the 10th. You may recall I was getting confused earlier about what date Chelsea and Liverpool play. I was getting confused because in front of me I have information about the IndyCar series that finishes on October the 10th for sure. And there's a three-way battle between Chip Ganassi, Scott Dixon, Dario Franchitti, and Ryan Briscoe as to who is going to win the championship. Briscoe threw it away in the previous round at Motegi because he crashed on the way out of the pits and had very few points as a result. Now, all three drivers have taken it in turns to lead the championship during the course of the season, and with 50 points for a win, and with Dixon on 570, Franchitti on 565, and Briscoe on 562, it's a very close finish to the season, and that normally seems to be the case with the IndyCar series. Although in recent years, of course, that series has struggled to get viewers and is apparently short of finances, so it is hoped that it will continue to be viable in the upcoming years. And that is all from today's video blog. In the next video blog, I hope to talk about my day trip to Reading, and also Oxford for that matter, which I hope to be going on in a few days' time. Until next time, it's bye for now.
And those are the words of Chris Williams from Pembroke Dock in Wales, the United Kingdom. Well, Chris, you're certainly entitled to your opinions. We appreciate your note. And for those of you who don't realize who Mrs. Hospenthal is, Danica Patrick is married to Paul Hospenthal, still, of course, goes by her maiden name of Patrick. So that's Chris Williams. What do you have to say about what's going on in the series and who you expect to see excel next year? From Chris, and he certainly didn't pull any punches.
My name